everyone, welcome back. So today is going to be a quick review on a book that I read that was pretty good. So I read Grace of Kings. It's part of the Dandelion Dynasty series. And I wasn't sure what to expect going into this. I've seen a lot of recent positive reviews on it, and so I was really excited to give it a try. I'd probably put my rating probably around that 4.5 out of 5. I would have done more of a 5 out of 5 other than I did have some trouble in the beginning really connecting to the story. I wasn't sure what to expect because I just went into, I saw all the positive reviews, but I didn't sit there and pay close attention to what the reviews were saying. I'm just like, okay, all these people are liking it. I'm going to give it a try. So I'm really excited that I did try it and I followed through with it. So similar to Sons of Darkness, they have a lot of similarities with the beginning. And it has more of this omnipresent kind of view of the overall story where you're going to get all these different point of views at first. But you will start to see that there is a main character being followed at some point. And that's kind of similar to Sons of Darkness. And I pretty much would review these two similarly, about the same, where it's like, okay, well, at first I couldn't really connect, and then I'm so glad I stuck with it because it was great. And that's how I feel about both of these books. And if you like one, you'll probably like the other. I really did enjoy both of them. And I don't want to make this just a review about Sons of Darkness because I did do a clip on that one. But they are similar. So if you have tried one of them and not the other, I'd recommend giving the other a try too. But with that being said, they are similar in the sense that it can be really difficult at first getting into it and realizing what's going on. Because in the beginning of this one, at first I was like, so who are going to be the main characters? Because it was kind of hopping around in point of views and in time as well. So that can get a little confusing. And I noticed book 2 is starting to do that as well. But I know enough what's going on now at this point that I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get to the flow of this and I'm enjoying it. I really am. So I'm really liking it. But maybe after that first 25%, then you're just like, okay, I know who the main characters are. I understand the direction. And then you can just sit back and enjoy it. So it's really good. But yeah, at first I was tempted to put it down, but I'm like, there's so many good reviews. I need to give it a shot. Kind of like Sons of Darkness. I'm glad I stuck through with it because it was worth it. But the beginning of the book is starting with this emperor of Xana, who is Mapadir. I'm probably saying it wrong, but that's how I'm saying it in my head. But he's parading through all these different nations because the whole world, the world of this book used to be set up in 7 different trio states. Well, the emperor then unified them into one, the empire. And these states, they're still used to, they're not used to it, but they still remember what their freedom was like. And so there are some of those pockets of rebellion, and they're looking for any type of weakness of the emperor. So that's kind of the political undercurrent going on there. You have kind of where you had the state's independence, and then you have now the empire, and you're going to probably lead to some rebellion because the emperor, he's not exactly great to all the people. You do have some of that oppression going on. He is more of a tyrant, and when he dies, his son takes over, who's younger, and he is just terrible. He just essentially wants everything built for him just to be glamorous and wasteful, and so that's kind of that political backing that's going on. Well, when he's parading through, you do get introduced to a couple of the 2 main characters. The first one you really get introduced to in the beginning, who is Cooney, and this is when he was a younger child. And then the other main character, you get a little bit of an introduction from him, but you mainly follow Cooney, who is the main person. But Mata, he's the other one that you follow. And they are both 2 completely different people. But they come together at one point. And it's really interesting getting the dynamic between those 2 characters. Cooney is more... you'd probably be more of the style of ruling that you would probably want. He's more merciful to people. He tries to take the strengths people have and use them for his purposes, even if they were his enemies at one point. Whereas Mata, he's just completely brutal, and he's like, okay, well, if you were against me, I'm just gonna kill you. Like, he's all for the bloodshed, you know. So when you get to the battle scenes, he's really interesting to follow, but then you're like, well, sometimes you need Kearney. So you need both at times, but then also you're like, well, Kearney is probably going to be more of the lasting method. So it's really interesting to get the dynamic between those two and to watch them come together, but also to fall apart as well. You get to see that dynamic going on. I don't want to get into what happens at the end or anything like that, but even the back of the book states how they come together at one point, and this is when the rebellion really gets formed. The rebellion even itself has a lot of interesting political parts to it as well. Like, at first it just starts off with a couple little bands of people who rebel, and then some of them succeed and some of them don't. Some of them are more just like bandits. So like, you get to watch how some of these groups might fall apart, whereas some of them might last and actually develop into something worthwhile, and actually be a threat to the emperor. So it is interesting to see that going on. There is also some random dialogue and chapters that are kind of thrown in there, but about the world's gods in there too. The part they play, it's a little interesting. I mean, it almost seems like they're kind of trying to influence things, but also stay away. But they're picking sides too. So it's interesting how that kind of plays into it. It's not really a big part of the story. Maybe later, but. Right now, I mean, you're mainly just following the two main characters and how essentially all the politics are being shaped, and essentially what is going to be the outcome for Izana and the trio states and everything like that. So it is very interesting to get all those different perspectives, and you get some of the political ideologies going on there as well, like what's the proper way to rule, what works, what doesn't work. So it is very interesting. You do get some, deep conversation going on. But yeah, so I really did enjoy this story. It's not like your typical fantasy novel, and I think a lot of that comes from just mainly the point of view of reading this. Some people might not feel as though they can really connect with the characters just because you're not, like, it almost feels like you can be in their head, but also you're not. It's more of this omnipresent kind of view of everything. But I still found plenty of enjoyment with the characters. There were still so many I liked. And I liked getting the point of view from all sides and from everyone, because it really fills the whole picture. Sometimes it can be hard to remember who everyone is, but it didn't take away my enjoyment of it. I still really did like it. And same with Sons of Darkness. I ended up really liking that one too. So I definitely, when I got to like the last 50% of the book, I just pretty much read it in one sitting. Like I read like 6 hours straight or something. I just couldn't put it down. So I really did enjoy that. I wanted to know what was going to happen. So yeah, I definitely recommend giving this a try if this sounds like something you would like. I understand that probably this won't be for everyone, but I do encourage you to at least try it, see if you like it. Maybe if like the book comes on a Kindle sale or something, pick it up and see if you like it. I have started book 2. I think I'm like 40% of the way through, maybe, or 30, I don't know. But I've been enjoying that one just as much too. Well, probably more because now that I really know who the characters are. So I am liking that one as well. There's some interesting things going on in that one. And it's different. It's not the same. It's not going to be just all battles and fighting. This one you can tell it's with following a certain character who is going to probably lead to some importance. I don't know. That sounds really ambiguous, but that's kind of what's going on. I can't really tell what's going to come of this person or why they're important. But I feel like they're going to shake things up probably. So I don't know, it might be interesting. But yeah, so I'm really excited. I hope you give this a try if I convinced you to give it a try. And if you do, let me know. Or if you like the series, let me know. But other than that, thanks for watching.